to you with this stream from the John A. Osborne Airport on the occasion of the official departure of His Excellency the Governor, Andrew Pearce. I am Peter W.A. White, and I am assisting the GIU in bringing some commentaries on the activities this afternoon. I can confirm that His Excellency is on the airport compound and the relevant security procedures are being followed to allow him to proceed through the security area. There are a number of persons gathered as well-wishers to see him off today. And more importantly, there's a guard of honor that's been formed that will give him his final salute on his departure from Montserrat. This is a custom or convention, as we would say, that the departing governor, who is commander-in-chief of all the local forces, is entitled to a final salute on the last moments of his stay on Montserrat. So we're doing our best to bring you this stream, and you try and follow us for the next half an hour or so as we try and keep you up to date with what is happening here at the John A. Osborne Airport. It's a commercial airport, and the flights operating are under commercial protocols. So despite the fact that we are bringing to you this broadcast, everything we do and say and every action taken has to be in accordance with the airport security procedures. Governor Davis, sorry, should I say Governor Pearce, yes, formal tour of duty, 4 years in Montserrat, comes to an end, as I say, today. It is expected that his successor will arrive in Montserrat sometime before the end of March. There will be an official announcement on that, the exact day. However, we expect to navigate through some unusual circumstances. Generally in the past, when a governor arrived in Montserrat, they would normally arrive in the morning or midday, and then take a break, and then go to the House of Assembly, where they will take the oath later that afternoon, so the same day. However, with the current procedures in place for COVID protocols and having to quarantine for 5 days or thereabout, we will try and see how we navigate through that process. Let there be no misunderstanding, however. Her Excellency the Governor, whenever she reaches an island, will have the royal warrant appointing her as governor. What may be the technical issue, she may not be able to participate in official proceedings like cabinet and so on until she takes the local oath of, on island. So that's the tricky issue, and it's normally done before the House of Assembly. If we can join the camera on the outside, we'll see His Excellency currently going through his meeting and greeting, and there are a number of persons who are assembled in the outer departure area. Some of them may not be able to allow in the inner departure lounge, so he's doing his best to say farewell to them on the outside. I will try my best to, as I say, talk you through this afternoon's proceedings. The Guard of Honor is formed, and we'll be coming on the airport compound when the security officers allow them on, and they will be the focal point for this afternoon's activity, after which then the last meet and greet, and then he boards. For my program, I also noticed that when the plane would have taken off, the governor's appointment, or Andrew Pearce's appointment as governor of Montserrat, will cease. In light of that, the deputy governor will take the oath of office here at the airport and will take on the responsibility of governor of Montserrat, as governor of Montserrat, until the substantive appointee arrives later in March. So let's see what's happening on the outside, and I will try and talk you through the proceedings as we go along. As we continue our streaming from the John A. Osborne Airport, just to assure you that you're not really missing anything. Typical operations here at the airport. Our program for the afternoon is pushed back by a few minutes. So we are waiting for all the matters related to commercial flights take place. So what you're seeing on your screen are some of the officials waiting in the departure area of the airport until what's happening on the tarmac in terms of the planes and the flights have taken off and landed and parked properly, so that in another 10 to 15 minutes or so, we should be able to see things moving along. So just to assure you, if you're watching us, we are bringing to you a stream from the John A. Osborne Airport, where we are having a ceremony, a farewell ceremony for Governor Andrew Pearce. He is leaving Montserrat, finishing his tour of duty here as governor. So he and his wife will be receiving the formal farewell. This afternoon's activity will involve the assembling of a guard of honor comprising of a unit from the Royal Montserrat Defence Force, also a unit from the Royal Montserrat Police Service and the Montserrat Secondary School Cadet Corps. We'll be seeing some new, or what should I say, heavy shoulders this afternoon, because a batch of officers were recently promoted by His Excellency the Governor last week, Friday, one of his final acts as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. I am pleased to say at this time that everybody knows Major Ryan, the commanding officer of the Royal Montserrat Defence Force. He has been promoted to the rank of Colonel. First in the history of Montserrat, we have had anyone holding that rank. And it's not because of competence or anything along that line. It really had to do with the structure of the local force and the rank that was given to the person in charge. Then Glenroy Foster, the adjutant, that is the person who's responsible for all the operations of the day-to-day operations of the Defence Force. He commands parades. He deals with all financial and administrative matters for the Royal Montserrat Defence Force. He's been promoted to the rank of captain. So for clarity, we can say now we have two serving captains in the Royal Montserrat Defence Force, and that is Captain Glenroy Foster and Captain Fergus. Also receiving a promotion from second lieutenant to full lieutenant is now Lieutenant Darian Darrow, and he'll be a platoon officer there. And then we have also promoted, who was second lieutenant, Kelvin White, is now a full lieutenant in the Royal Montserrat Defence Force. There was also promotion to what we call officer cadet, and this is not to be confused with cadet officer. Officer cadet is someone who is in training and holds a rank and demands a salute from the local forces. And another female in the person of Carmen Sita Jubri. So she's an officer in training, and very likely, when the opportunity presents itself, would probably follow Mr. Darian Darrow's footsteps in going off to Sandhurst Military Training College for her formal training, after which she will receive the Queen's commission. So that was a grand occasion at the governor's office last week, Friday. So the governor has been working right up to the last minute, as I'll say. He, I know, was carrying out some duties again today, this morning, putting some things in place, as is expected to do, and signing off on the appropriate and related paperwork. So, again, what you're seeing on the screen are those assembled in the departure lounge, enjoying the coolness of the air condition there, before they move to the tarmac on the outside when given the all clear to do so by the airport security team. The troops today, I should have mentioned, the Defence Force unit will be led by Lieutenant Darrow. The police guard will be led by Inspector Wade, and the cadet team will be led by Cadet Warrant Officer and Police Constable Kervin St. Louis. His full-time job is that of a police officer, but he holds the rank of warrant officer and instructor and trainer for the Montserrat Secondary School Cadet Corps. So those will be the unit commanders, and the parade itself will be taken by newly promoted Captain Glenroy Foster. So we will look forward to that. It's a very short piece, but a very significant event it will be, as His Excellency will be given his chance to inspect them, say a few parting words to them, and take his final salute as Commander-in-Chief of the local armed forces. So we'll take a break here as we continue to monitor things, and as time goes on, I will come back to provide you with further updates.
Vaccines protect you and they protect me. Getting vaccinated is one of the most important things you can do to keep yourself and your family safe and healthy. Once enough people are immunized, opportunities for an outbreak of disease becomes very low. And if we all choose to get vaccinated, we contribute in getting back to spending quality time with our loved ones in a safe way. Choose to get vaccinated. Vaccines bring us closer.
Girl, I so glad Rebecca invited me to a party.
I know, right?
Let's go over and say hi.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi. Rebecca, I love your hair.
Rebecca, I love your shoes.
What? Come push them out, let me see.
Look at this beautiful dress. Pause, girl, pause. Oh my God, she really thinks she look good?
You know what? I think everybody deserves to see how bad she looks.
Good idea.
Hashtag not cute. Hashtag Red Cross. Hashtag she don't look good.
Rebecca. Rebecca.
Rebecca, what is it? What is it? Why are you crying? Talk to me. I'm sorry.
That was nice to think about me all the time. Let's talk about me. Yeah, I know I will.
Have you reported this to anyone at school? Why? Are you afraid they'll hurt you or something?
I can't eat. I'm away at night to focus on the mean stuff that was about me. I never did anything to them.
Rebecca, you can't be afraid. They're bullies, that's all. Look, I'm sorry that you're hurting, but you shouldn't have to worry about the negative things people say or post about you. What they say is that the person you really are. And people who treat you in this way most certainly aren't your friends. Let me tell you something. You're beautiful on the outside and inside. Let no one tell you otherwise. You hear me? Always report these matters to the relevant authorities. But remember, if bullies know that you're scared and affected, they'll believe they have won. They'll believe they have the power over you. You need to find the inner strength and show them that you're not afraid.
The Government Information Unit, GIU, is the communications arm of the Government of Montserrat. We serve as the official platform for news and information for and about the government's ministries and departments. We develop information products on government's policies, programs, projects, and activities, which are then channeled through various communication platforms. GIU, your official source for news and information on the Government of Montserrat.
Vaccine safety is always a top priority. Like other vaccines, the COVID-19 vaccines being developed have been through the same trial phases and rigorous process required for all vaccines. Global efforts on the development of the vaccines are built on existing research from previous coronaviruses like MERS and SARS-1. As COVID-19 vaccines are approved for their broad use in the population, be reassured that they will continue to be monitored to identify any adverse events. Your safety is our top priority. Vaccines bring us closer. Choose to get vaccinated. Over the years, vaccines have protected us from serious diseases like whooping cough, chickenpox, polio, measles, and others. Vaccines help your immune system do its job better and faster, and that protects you from serious diseases. Like a police officer, your immune system is always on patrol in your body looking for invading germs. When it comes across a germ, it begins releasing antibodies to fight the germ. These antibodies work to attack, weaken, and destroy the germ. The COVID-19 vaccine is no different. It will work to help your immune system fight COVID-19 effectively. You are important to your family and friends. Vaccines bring us closer. Choose to get vaccinated.
Researchers did not take any safety shortcuts when creating the COVID-19 vaccines. Large studies show that approved COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. This message was brought to you from the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, and the Montserrat Ministry of Health. It is not possible for the vaccine to change your DNA. This message was brought to you by the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, and the Montserrat Ministry of Health. You cannot get COVID-19 from the vaccine. None of the current vaccines contain the live virus that causes COVID-19. This message was brought to you by the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, and the Montserrat Ministry of Health.
Try that song again for me, please, Jason.
No, I want to watch TV.
Not until you finish your math.
No!
Give me faith and patience here today. Child, you're going to sit there until I tell you to move. Hell, what did I do with that belt?
Take deep breaths and think of another way to reach your goal.
All well and good for you to say. You don't see how he's trying me. Okay. Take deep breaths. Think of another way to reach your goal. Baby, you're tired of sitting down, huh?
Yes, can we finish work tomorrow?
No, because we have more schoolwork to do tomorrow. Here's what. How about we watch a funny video? I'll let you choose. Then we go right back to finishing off the work. If you finish before bedtime, I'll let you watch some more videos until it's time to say goodnight.
Deal.
Deal. I'll get the hang of this positive discipline thing.
You can positively discipline your child without the use of beatings or harsh words. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education, UNICEF, this station, and funded by UK Aid.
Yo, give me a ball. That's not your cheap people. Give me a ball. That's not your cheap people stuff.
No, I want to play with it.
Hold on, Jason. Give me the ball, please.
But I want to play with it.
Whose ball is it?
His.
Do you think he had to bring his ball for us to play with?
No.
What would happen if he were to take his ball and go home?
We won't have anything to play with.
Yo, how you do that?
I just reason with my little friend like how my father reasons with me. You don't have to push him around or shout at him to get him to do the right thing.
I have to try that one with my little sister, you know. Because my mother say don't hit her, but yet she still don't listen.
Well, you see, I send you a list of things to try. They always work with my little cousins.
Okay.
While it's okay to get upset when children behave inappropriately, you should try reasoning with them first before you resort to other forms of discipline. It could make a positive difference in their attitude and behavior. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Education, UNICEF, this station, and funded by UK Aid.
He had a little delay, and that really has to do with aviation protocol, and the flight now have landed and has taken up its position. So the troops are now marching on in preparation for that brief part we refer to as the Guard of Honor. The things have adjusted a bit, and again, in this line of business, one has to prepare to adjust accordingly. What we're seeing and happening on the tarmac is a unit from the Royal Montserrat Defence Force, the Royal Montserrat Police Service, and the Montserrat Secondary School Cadet Corps taking up their positions. In the departure lounge, we will have H.E. speaking to, as we see him there, speaking to some of the persons who are here gathered to bid him farewell. And what we'll see happen eventually, the ushers will escort those who are here to bid farewell through the departure gate, and they will assemble on the outside. And then H.E. himself will come out, and then the formal part of that process will take place. So we see them now making their way towards the door. The troops on the outside have formed up, and the dignitaries are now taking their rightful places. Aide to His Excellency the Governor today is Lieutenant Kelvin White, and he is making sure that the Governor meets the right persons in the correct order, and see they are now making their way from the departure lounge. H.E. will be the last to leave as such because he's the guest here, so he will then come out and take up his position on the parade square. So the guests are assembled accordingly, and they are now moving to the outside, and H.E. will be coming out to take up his rightful position. The guard is now preparing themselves on the outside, being properly dressed, as we would say in military terms. And all of this has to be done to, what should I say, limited time, because following this, we are expecting another commercial flight to come in with passengers arriving and also passengers departing. So everything is in place, and it's just for the Guard of Honor to do their final bit, and then HE will take up his position in front of them. We see here this afternoon, the Honorable Premier is not able to attend. He just came back on island 2 days ago and is undergoing quarantine. So his deputy will carry out the role as on his behalf in bidding the governor farewell. Also absent this afternoon is the Honorable Financial Secretary, who is off island on official business. Right? So there we see the governor now taking the salute under the parade under the command of Captain Glenroy Foster. We greet him, His Excellency, with a present arms. And now Mr. Foster is now approaching HE to invite him to come to, first of all, inspect the troops, and then on his return from the podium, or back to the stand, I should say, he will say a few words. This is a bit unusual. It's not very often you're able to witness a military parade on an active airport apron. As we say, commercial flights are currently going on, and we were able to get, should I say, some time in between flight to carry out this important activity. His Excellency the Governor, Andrew Pearce OBE, now carrying out his final inspection of the troops. His Excellency the Governor is the Commander-in-Chief of all armed forces on Montserrat. He's currently saying his final words to the unit from the Royal Montserrat Defence Force. Now moving on to the Royal Montserrat Police Service. Officer in charge of that unit is Inspector Wade. For some persons, for the governor, I'm sure, is what we call a lump in the throat moment. I mean, having been enjoyed many parades for the last 4 years, here he is now taking his final salute, and when his flight takes off, will no longer hold the post of Governor of Montserrat. Now speaking to the unit of the Montserrat Secondary School Cadet Corps, saying his goodbyes to them. And for them, it's an important moment. We have some in the Army Cadet Division, some from the Sea Cadet Division. That's one of the things about the Montserrat Secondary School Cadet Corps. Currently, they do have 2 units as part of the force, those who do the Army Cadet training and those who do maritime-related training, and they refer to them as the Sea Cadets. His Excellency the Governor is what I would say is one in a long line of governors. Here in Montserrat, we start having the post of governor assigned to Montserrat back in 1971. 1971. Mr. Harry Thompson, or Willoughby Harry Thompson, served as governor of Montserrat in 1971 until 1974. And he was the first with that title, and up to this moment, Andrew Pearce, the current governor holds the title, and of course we expect someone to succeed him in the end of the month.
I absolutely did. No, very smart, and I'm very grateful to all of them for coming out here and putting up with the delay this afternoon as well. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed for your good wishes here, and thank you for bearing with the delays this afternoon as well and staying here to give us this wonderful send-off. We really appreciate it. We won't say any long speeches here because you've had a long day and colleagues have had a long day, and people have had more than enough, I think, of me speaking over the last 4 years. But I just wanted to say, on behalf of myself and my family, a real thank you. A thank you to Montserrat. A thank you to the ladies and gents of the Defence Force and the police and the cadet force. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for keeping us safe. We have felt wonderfully safe on Montserrat. It's a beautiful, peaceful island. There are not so many places in the world that are as peaceful as Montserrat, and we've always felt comfortable, at ease, and well protected here. Thank you very much indeed for that. But perhaps above all, we felt joy and we felt real happiness here. This has been a wonderful 4 years for myself and my family. It's a posting that comes towards the end of a career in the diplomatic service for us, but it's a posting where we've, perhaps to our slight surprise, had a considerable professional discovery and personal discovery, even at quite a late stage in our sort of career journey, and that's testament to Montserrat and the beauty of the island and the beauty of the people. Montserrat people have a really good heart. We know that, we've seen it, we love it, and we're going to be back. And we would just ask that God please bless Montserrat, please bless the people of Montserrat, please keep it safe, and please keep it happy. Thank you very much, ladies and gents.
And there you would have heard for yourself the final words from the governor to the troops at hand. Now he is now coming to formally say farewell to the guests who are duly assembled. And so yes, he's now individually going to greet the guests one by one. Yes, I think we have some adjustments with the camera. Yes, so while he's greeting each guest, in particular he's currently speaking to the Attorney General and the Deputy Governor, and quite in order. And we also have assembled permanent secretaries, well, the ministers of government, the permanent secretaries, and so on. And this is an important part where, you know, he's going to leave his lasting final words in the ears of those who worked with him for the last 4 years. In the meantime, the troops are getting themselves sorted out in terms of, for the final aspect where he will walk through the troops when he proceed to board the flight. And that, again, is another important part, and very, should I say, photographic moment of him going down the troops, walking amongst the troops, going towards the plane. So, pretty much, as we wait, and he is hearing from those around him about thanking him for his service and other things, the troops are getting themselves together, and within 5 minutes or so, he will be moving on to board the flight as he departs Montserrat. Following immediately from that, I wish to say, as soon as the flight takes off and is safely on its way, the invited guests will be invited or escorted inside the arrivals hall, where the Honorable Lyndon Simpson will then take the oath of office. So what they're seeing there, the troops getting themselves together. We are mindful of the time frame, the time that's allocated for this, bearing in mind 1 or 2 commercial flights are still to come to Common Island. And there we see the troops now facing inwards, as we would say, and forming a column or a walkway as His Excellency. This is the photographic moment. This is the moment where His Excellency and his wife walks down between the troops as he now prepared to board the flight to depart Montserrat. It's a photograph of this activity, of this, that, you know, it lives or resonates in persons' minds. In particular, if you're the one to benefit from it, if you're the one being escorted down with the shamrock ahead on the Fly Montserrat plane, you cannot get anything better than that as a good farewell or send-off from Montserrat. Okay, so with that being said, now there are still some of the protocols to take place. The troops will now come back in order, and then they must depart the apron gate, and then on the instructions of airport security, regular aviation matters will then carry on. Mindful of timing, as we say, as there are expected some commercial flights on the way in. We're hoping that the swearing in and the departure of the guests from the arrivals area will take place in a timely manner so that the arriving passengers will be able to be properly processed. We were a bit concerned as to whether this activity was going to even take place because of the COVID restrictions. But you know, with no cases known on island at this time, and everyone insistence that we have something done properly, we were able to, the organizers was able to go forward with this, albeit with limited numbers in terms of the troops and so on. We would have liked to bring the entire membership of the Defense Force, the entire or available members of the Royal Montserrat Police Service, and more so the cadets, the young ones, would have liked to be here in full numbers. But again, we have to adhere to the protocols that are in place. See, coming there, the Commissioner of Police and Lieutenant Colonel Alvin Everton Ryan marching back to the area where the guests are assembled. And they, with that being done now, the troops now have the authority to prepare themselves to march off. Pretty soon, I'm speaking to you from the departure lounge, and pretty soon, all the guests who are assembled outside will be coming in to this part where they will, first of all, witness the flight departure, and then we will have the swearing in of the acting governor. I was a while ago speaking about past governors of Montserrat, and I was saying in 1971 to 1974, we had a Harry Thompson, and in 1974 to 1976, 2 years, we had Norman Derrick Matthews. And if my research is correct, he was the one who passed away while in office here on Montserrat. So his replacement never came on island until 1977. And at that time, from my research, one Howard Fergus, in his personal capacity, was appointed to act as governor, because it so happened that he was the Speaker of the House of Assembly at that time. And so many people associated the assignment or him becoming acting governor with the fact that it's really the Speaker. But in theory, from my research, it is the individual, Howard Archibald Fergus, who was assigned to carry out the duties there and then. Following that, taking up duty was Governor Wynne Jones, and then we had Governor David Dale. Governor David Dale served 1980 to 1984. Arthur Christopher Watson, 1985 to 1987. Christopher Turner served in 1987 to 1990. And you would pick up the trend, the general period of service for a governor is 3 years, which can be extended by a year to 4, as this last governor did. We had David Taylor, who served 1990 to 1993. Frank Savage, 93 to 97. Tony Abbott, 97 to 2001. And then, for the purposes of the official records, notes that was now being kept of those who actually act in between appointments. So, Howard Archibald Fergus' name now appears in the record, where he acted for the first time as per the record. But Tony Logwig came in at the 11th of April 2001, and he served until April 2004. Then, on his departure, Howard Archibald Fergus acted again. Then we had Deborah Barnes-Jones, who came in the 10th of May 2004 and served until 6th of July 2007. Then John Richard Shervington Skerritt acted as governor for a very short period, 6th of July 2007 to the 13th of July, because Dr. Fergus was away, and then Dr. Fergus came back and continued from the 13th of July until the 27th of July, acting. Then Peter Waterworth came to Montserrat and served as governor on the 27th of July 2007 to the 3rd of March 2011. Then Miss Sarita Francis, who was the deputy governor at the time, served in between governor between the 3rd of March 2011 until the 8th of April 2011. Adrian Davis then took up appointment on the 8th of April 2011 and served until the 8th of July. Sorry, Adrian Davis took up 8th of April and 8th of July 2015, yes. And then Mr. Taylor acted as governor from the 8th of July 2015 until the 5th of August 2015. Then Elizabeth Carrier came in and took up her formal appointment. She served from 2015, August, till 2nd of January 2018. And then the current deputy governor, Ms. Lindell Simpson, acted from the 2nd of January 2018 until the 1st of February 2018. Then Mr. Andrew Pearce came in 1st of February 2018 and served until now. The flight with Adrian Davis, OBE, Governor of Montserrat, is now on the tarmac or on the runway and preparing to take off. Take note that as soon as that flight takes off, his formal appointment or commission as governor cease to be effective, and Mrs. Lindell Simpson, for the second time, is expected to be sworn in as acting governor and will serve until the substantive, the newly appointed governor takes up office in Montserrat later this month. So that's pretty much our history, and we are told that the person who will be taking over from as governor is by the name of Sarah Georgia Tucker, and she has worked with the FCDO. Her last posting is currently in the Virgin Islands as FCDO Director of Strategy, and previous to that, she worked for the FCDO as head of cruise repatriations. But her actual service with the FCDO started back in 2011. Prior to that, she was with the private sector. Therefore, it is not necessarily my duty, but to be stated that the flight has now taken off, and therefore, Her Majesty's Commission appointing Adrian Davis, OBE, as Governor of Montserrat has now expired. I will now call to the microphone the Honorable Attorney General and the Deputy Governor to take the oath, and she will take the duties of Governor from today until the substantive post holder arrives.
I, Lindell Simpson, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. I, Lindell Simpson, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will well and truly serve Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, and the people of Montserrat in the office of Acting Governor.
Thank you very much. Our acting governor is now Mrs. Lindell Simpson, and she will serve as such from today's date until the substantive person who has been commissioned by Her Majesty the Queen arrives on island. And there goes, that was the signing ceremony. We now have Her Excellency leaving with the Honorable Attorney General to carry out her duties dealing with matters of state until the substantive post holder is in office. Coming to you from the John A. Osborne Airport, this is the Government Information Unit. I'm yours truly, Peter W.A. White, who once again been called upon to assist the GIU in bringing to you commentaries of this event. Have a pleasant evening.
The Government Information Unit, GIU, is the communications arm of the Government of Montserrat. We serve as the official platform for news and information for and about the government's ministries and departments. We develop information products on government's policies, programs, projects, and activities, which are then channeled through various communication platforms. GIU, your official source for news and information on the Government of Montserrat.